As far as I know, this is your first time in Chile, right?
Yes, yeah, it'll be my first time. I'm so stoked.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see you. I mean, all of us at the radio are really excited to see you and being able to talk to you. And I want to start like real quick just by going back. I'm quite curious and interested in your musical journey, mainly because I've seen it like develop in real time. And you and I think, have the same age, so it's
Okay,
special, you know.
yeah.
And I would say, like, you are the definition of like a DIY artist. And the most perfect example of that is your first record, produced, recorded, like 100. I mean, I think the album turned 5 years on September 2023, if I'm
hmm
correct. Yeah.
hmm
So how do you feel about that record? Is there anything about the process of like making it that you kind of miss or you want to bring back to whatever you're making now of you've done in the recent years?
Mm. Yeah, I mean that record continues to be more and more special in my life. I feel like a lot of people with their first record, they start to hate it over time. And I've never really had that experience. I think it's just so like amazing to me that this album that I made when I was, 17 and 18 has had this global impact. So I'm forever grateful for it. In terms of process, I still make music technically the same way. Like I still write and produce and mix even my own music. I've just gotten better with age, so it sounds less lo-fi-ish, and I have more like gear that I record with and stuff. But that's more of like a analytical way of looking at production, because also something that I never could get back is the like innocence of that record and the magic of just like not knowing any context, which I think I tried to recreate as much as possible, just like being naive in a good way and just like not really making things for other people's approval, but rather just like out of self expression.
Mhm. Well, and I think social media and specifically YouTube, I remember when you came up like in 2016, like 2017, YouTube was like a big part of this like record blowing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was before, I don't know, Instagram and like TikTok became like such a big thing, like the thing
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
musicians.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has changed. It's funny because the internet has such a big part, anyways. But I feel like it's more of a short attention span. I mean, it was still that way before, but I don't know. It's a delicate balance of like, how much do you want to adapt, and also like if you want to survive, you kind of have to learn how to use these tools. So I'm figuring that out honestly as I go. Like I've kind of started to try to make TikToks and that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, any way that people can find the music and hopefully like the music for longer than 2 weeks is cool with me. So.
So it's a positive thing.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a lot, and a lot of things can feel like industry plant-ish. But then there's
Mm,
also people like me where like if it weren't for the internet, like my career wouldn't exist, Because I grew
yeah.
up in a small town in Texas, and if it weren't for YouTube and platforms like it, then yeah. So it's there's a lot out there now, so you're competing with more, I guess. So
Yeah,
it's hard to
yeah.
make it not like feel like a competition, I think is
Yeah,
the
totally. So I just want to go straight to the to what brings us together today, which is, I mean, you're gonna come a long way to Chile, your first time. Festivals can be quite weird in how you set up a show
Mm.
because you have, I mean, a couple EPs out, you have two albums out. How do you mix it up festival setting? Do you try to at all, or is it just like the best of Dayglow?
I think so. The way I kind of see it is like my best friends are my bandmates. So it feels like we're, all going on this road trip all the time. And I kind of view it as like I make the records in completely alone, and then once they're done, we like will look at it as a band and then like make a show covering the songs basically. So I'll do like new versions of older songs that fit best to the current record, sonically. So right now, like we're eliminating all like electronic elements for the most part, and all like tracks and pre-recorded things, because I got pretty tired of using that. So it's more of like a live setting, and it's fun to figure out how to rearrange things to make each show special. So we have recently rehearsed, and the new show this year that you'll be seeing is it's really fun.
I'm looking forward to it. I assume it like I don't know how to say it, but you can kind of improvise a lot more during shows and during
Now we
rehearsals
can,
with this
yeah.
like new format.
Oh, I was just gonna say we don't have like a click track or anything, so like that's
Oh,
maybe
okay.
musician lingo, but like yeah, we're more free flowing. So if the crowd is more reactive, then we'll probably play faster, that kind of thing.
I assume it happens all the time, and I always tend to ask this question because it tells you a lot about an artist creative process. With being months on the road and you're with your best friends and like playing live with this new format, I assume there comes a point when you're playing or during rehearsals that you do stuff that suddenly go like, oh, this could be like a new song. Does that happen at all?
Um, yeah, I mean it can. I feel like my body is just trained to not write music unless I'm in my chair here. So I don't know. I feel like I'm so focused on the live show where like I'm not thinking about recording new stuff. And then when I'm not on the tour, I'm only thinking about recording and not really the live show. It's like two different things in my head. But yeah.
Well, it's time to wrap this up. I'm really excited to seeing you at Lollapalooza. Thank you for speaking to our radio, and I hope you have a really, really good day.
Of course. No, I'm so excited to be there too.